Hi, this is DrDan Matthews, and today is February the 8th, 2013, and he has some really interesting things to talk about for just a few minutes. So, Dr. Dan, please continue.
Okay, well, thank you, Cassandra.
You're welcome.
Well, we're in the new Aquarian age, and everything has changed. We were on a linear timeline in a third-dimensional grid, and we're now on a exponential time orbit and a 999th to the power of 7th dimensional grid that's called the Christ Matrix grid. And it's very new, and the rules of it, I suppose you could call it, are way different than what was in the old Piscean age. And the main thing is, what the Earth now nurtures and supports is radically different. It, a linear timeline that we used to have, it more or less, it dumbed us down. It caused the activities of our higher consciousness to go dormant. And the third-dimensional grid was very conducive to consciousness of belief with fear, control, domination from outer world authority. And the institutions at the bottom of the paradigm ladder, like government, religion, the corporate structure, that rely on fear and belief, which is the programming of their outer world authority to control our minds. And that's the kind of world that was nurtured and supported on the old grid in the Piscean age. Well, this new Aquarian age is radically different. None of the stuff I just told you is true anymore. What's true now is that the consciousness of the knowing of our inner holiness and the feelings of love are what's nurtured and supported. And getting out of the head where belief and fear reside, and opening the heart and seeking holiness, and living the parable of being a Christed being, that's what works in the Aquarian age. And it's all about bringing forth the knowing consciousness of our inner holiness to be shown, told, and led from within, and not through an outer world authority. So this is a radical change in the world that we knew. And this is what the Earth now nurtures and supports. And so, it's kind of like being in the first grade again. We're having to relearn lots of things. And instead of, a whole new way of dealing with our issues and problems, that's also coming up, and no longer, the belly flopping, complaining, and whining about it. That was somewhat supported in the past age that we was in, but in this new holy age of the Aquarian, we have to learn how to create divine decrees about our issues and worries in order to recruit the knowing consciousness of our inner holiness to come forth and to move things out of our way to heal our old problems. And it's a beautiful thing every time I get to work on someone, that now that we stand on the Christ Matrix grid, nothing of the old world can get by us. And it's all very obvious, all of the attachments, the viruses and the whatnots that people have that take their life force, parasite off of them, created that the old world human consciousness, none of that can hide anymore. And it's becoming very plain. And it's really pretty simple to do blessings to get rid of that. So that's a beautiful thing. And another thing that's way different, used to, when I would go and do a 2-week trip in Texas, and I would have a group of equations that I would do along the way at various towns that I go to. When I would get back home, pretty much everybody that had been walking the sacred path, participating in holy divine healing, would have everything. I'm not finding that to be true now, and I think that we just don't have enough templates yet filled out in this vast empty space of the Aquarian age, and things are changing daily. The master grid of the Earth is now a trinity of O-ness of the Christ Matrix Grid, Exponential Time Orbit, and the Holy Omega Crystal. But it's really important that people show up for group healings, and whether it's in person or on the phone. And the reason you do it now is way different than what it used to be. Used to, it was for us to bring forth the sacred gifts of our inner holiness to make a Holio crystal and take orders from the divine on what we do. Now it's to become an amplifier and a fountainhead for your lineages and your families. And lineages are very vast. It's a lot more than just your ancestors. And through all the connections of your lineages, most people that have been on the sacred path touch up to 97, 98% of the people on the planet. And your families is an order of your support. I'm finding that most people have about 17 families, and only 3 or 4 of them are on the planet. The rest of them are off planet. So we're very connected to that which is on the other side of the veil. And when we do group healings and you come forth to be this amplifier and fountainhead, it brings forth tremendous stability and support for you to be able to do your lineages and bring your families along in your ascension. And so it's a great way to get a lot of equations in a short amount of time to get you started into this new order of this great void of the Aquarian age. And it's very important. So it's a whole different reason to show up for the group healings. And it helps get the templates of the Holy O established in the Aquarian age. So that's kind of the big thing right now.
Well, that just sounds wonderful. I really hope that whoever listens to this can show up at the group healings for lots of reasons and bring all their friends. That'd just be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be amazing, and it doesn't take long to do them.
No, not anymore.
Right, and you get lots of equations for a nominal fee.
So. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's going to be like that every time I come by. I'm having to learn it on the fly here.
Mm-hmm.
We had an extra month, the month of December, to accumulate lots of blessings as we was going through the conversion from one age to the other to share on our last trip. And I don't know how many of those we'll be doing each time. 5 is a lot.
It is a lot. But still, it's a wonderful experience. So I just wanted to thank you, Dr. Dan, for sharing this with you, and we are going to put it up so everybody can hear it. So thank you.
Okay, well, very welcome.
All right.